Mutants must be exterminated. Ooh. X-Men, unite! Yeah, bub. With pleasure. I love playing with this. Oh, hello, guys. I am your friendly neighborhood Luis Perez. Now, let me talk to you. Now, we all love the X-Men, right? Come on. We all love them. My personal favorite group. Anyway, now we all know that. Now, we all wanted the X-Men to. We all wanted the X-Men to join the Avengers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Talked about all over. Well, Hugh Jackman has been asked about this as well, about the whole how Spider-Man has now been heading over to Marvel, and the fact that what does Hugh Jackman think of it, and whether or not the X-Men will cross over to that world. Jackman had this response in a general term: "I would like to, but huh? I think Jackman has pretty good. Okay, I didn't say it exactly like that. He would be interested in the idea of joining with the Avengers. They just said no. But the thing is that, well, let me give you a long explanation for why, this idea could not work in the grand scale. See, Fox is a very successful company. Let's remember that. And therefore, Fox has a lot of money and made a lot of profits in their X-Men franchise. Now, pardon me a minute. Now, considering Fox's very successful franchise, let us remember. Let us remember why. So now, a lot of people get the excuse that, well, they can do it with Spider-Man, the most popular Marvel character in existence. Why can't they do it with the X-Men? Well, let's remember this. Sony, when they had who was the studio that owns Spider-Man, were in a very bad position. Let's take a look. Look, pretend that there's a graph here with this very long pointy stick. Sony's profits Sony's profits ever since they started owning Spider-Man have been plummeting down since the Amazing Spider-Man 2. In basic terms, people hated they don't hate it, but they did not enjoy their use of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. So therefore, they spend hundreds of dollars, millions even, billions probably, to try to keep this franchise alive. Now, unfortunately, since the failure of Amazing Spider-Man 2, their profits have gone downhill. So in a last-ditch effort, they had to give the rights back to Marvel in order to save the Spider-Man franchise. X-Men, on the other hand, is a very successful franchise, whopping over millions of bajillion dollars each film, even though these lights one. Just in Days of Future Past alone, they grossed the most out of any X-Men film, and with the X-Men Apocalypse, there's no chance of these films getting less money. So Fox is a pretty successful company. They're pretty successful and pretty powerful. In fact, they were even attempted to buy Warner Brothers at one point. Yeah, they were almost this close of buying DC. I can't believe that. They were this close of doing it. But so really, there will be no reason for, you know, how can I put this straight? There will be no reason for the X-Men to go to the Avengers because then that would make no sense. For at least in a business standpoint, for Sony they had to do this venture eventually, considering how Spider-Man in the movie industry was failing. And I find it quite ironic that while the X-Men, one of the most successful superhero teams, don't get to go on, Spider-Man, the most successful of all the superhero teams, still got down the profits and did not get as much money. Now, how do you think of that? Because of Sony's very poor use of the characters, and all those swinging around the characters' course until they finally dropped. So basically, if you've been listening to my little, how they say, thesis on how this would work, basically Fox is very successful, so they have no reason to give it back to give the rights to Marvel. The fact that they have the future of Fantastic Four is still to be coming though, but nice so they will do those things. So yes, that are my reasons for why I don't think the X-Men would not be able to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's also the fact that those guys, they eventually did have to go, they eventually did get the rights back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They will have to reboot the entire franchise, just like they have to reboot the entire, you know, Spider-Man franchise. We've been seeing this with Scarlet Witch and and Quicksilver in Age of Ultron. Yes, we have seen Quicksilver in Days. We have seen we have seen. Pardon my language. We have seen Quicksilver in the past. But let us also remember that that Marvel also owns Quicksilver, as do Fox. So the fact is that they both own the character. That means that Marvel don't have the right to do this. But here's the thing: when they finally came to the point that they were going to use Quicksilver in their universe, that they decided that would be too that they didn't want to make him too close to the Days of Future Past version. So they scrapped out the mutant idea, gave him different costumes, gave him different powers, and called him and Scarlet Witch species the term miracles, as said by Venom on Strucker. So if they were to eventually, so now there's already one instance of that. Now imagine the entire X-Men. They will have to reboot everything, like different origins, different backstories, different casting altogether, with all the previously shown plot points and near darn the pooper. In that case, we won't even get the epic, Hugh Jackman versus Tony Stark versus Ronnie Downey Jr. because they will have to get a different casting like they have to do for the Spider-Man franchise. And basically, what I'm trying to say with the thesis is that the likes of of the X-Men crossing over with the Avengers is near zip. I hope you guys are keeping notes of this because there will be a test on it. Not really. But now that I got that established, would I like to see the Avengers crossover? Would I like to see the X-Men crossover to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Of course! Who doesn't? We all want to see them in the universe. But with all the examples that I laid out here today, the chances of us ever seeing them is near nothing. But that's just my opinion, though. We all have our ways. Of course, we all want to see that adaptation of the Avengers vs. X-Men storyline. But let's just face it, it might never happen because of the examples that I listed here. Well, may they one day cross over in the future? Probably. But the likes of that doing it this decade are not so liked. With the deets that I gave, with all that I gave to you and your families, that was my point, and I hope my point came out respectfully well. And this is a very long video, 8 minutes. Wow, that was a long thesis. But yes, that is my explanation of why the X-Men may never join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I might be a bummer, but hopefully we will be more mature about this, and one day, hopefully, they will cross over. But hey, they might not. But hey, that's my opinion. What are your guys? Comment down below. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm your friend Lewis Perez. I'll see you next time.